job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Ace, Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains now is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. It's time once again then to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll be seeing top speeds of around 210 miles per hour here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 2/3 of the lap taken at full throttle. High-speed chicanes spell potential danger, especially at the infamous Wall of Champions, and watch out for overtaking into the hairpin and that final chicane. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Ace lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Valtteri Bottas. Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going. so easy. Race win and your second race win in a row. Fantastic job.
That's it for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. So let's review the updated driver standings. This result then narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Natalie Pinkham, come on, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Ace. They pushed and pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was an absolute pleasure to watch.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, that
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals. Well, what happened? Let me know you're okay. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.